Welcome to the 81st day of the cultivation of the channels of essence for all of the little spheres which have been inside the great central translator since the start of the Lunar New Year on February 1st. We've all been following the steps of progress along the path, and we have been enlivening each day, day by day, the sets of sacred sounds. So now that we arrive at day 81, we're all very excited. We're going to be taking the beads out of the Great Central Translator today. And this is also a very significant day because it marks the 4th anniversary of the Eon of Eternal Light. And so we are now entering our 5th year of the Eon of Eternal Light. So let's hear some of these words from Lantos. The day of 81 is a day for great celebration. 81 days, 81 traces of empty, each offering insight and experience along the path. At this time, on this day of 81, nectar appears. Droplets of nectar form. The droplets are collected in the spheres, and they may appear in form, flowing through the column of light for Earth. The column of light is that pillar of eternal light which is forming between the mountain Kailash and the Unison Ocean Temple. The outlet at Kailash is well established. It is ancient. The outlet at the ocean center is new. It is yet unestablished. The location for the new outlet of this great pillar of light for Earth is anchored at the waters of Amrita Bay. In these purifying waters, the teacher beads receive the blessings of purification during the occurrence of 2 fullnesses. In the blessed waters of the holy lake at Kailash, the spheres receive the purifying influence of 2 fullnesses. This act of purification in these 2 locations of holy waters washes away the residue, the past influence which clings to the forms of existence. During the course of 81 days of cultivation, the channels of essence are clarified within the structure of the precious spheres. The spark of sublime star essence is retained within these beloved spherical forms. On the 81st day, a change occurs within the spherical forms of the 9 offspring. Nectar is generated. These are the first droplets which may be received on the physical layer. The first offering of nectar occurs within the subtle spherical forms within the Great Central Translator. The spheres may not be removed during this first offering. It is for this reason that the sublime stars made the journey to receive this most precious substance. I'm going to pause right here and remind us that between the 9th day, so February 9th, and February 10th, beginning at the very start of February 9th, the whole procession of stars came to reside within the great central translator. And Lantos had explained that each sublime star, each spark of the sublime star, the essence, resided within a sphere of the unison spheres. And so during that time, those precious stars received the very first offering of the nectar, the very first droplets. And Lantos described how these first droplets formed after following the enlivenment of the 9, and just at that gap between the 9 and the 10, between those forms which are somewhat in existence and also somewhat not in existence. They are the 9 offspring is what Lantos refers to them as. And so after those 9 were enlivened, then between that gap between the 9 and the 10, that's where the very first droplets of nectar form. So all of the stars arrived and took up residence one by one inside the spheres to receive those droplets of nectar. So that's what he means when he says that we did not remove the spheres from the translator at that time. Therefore, we did not receive those drops of nectar ourselves, but they were generated, and they were the offerings to these great celestial beings. It is during this time that all forces increase. All elements rise to participate in the stirring of Kailash, generating the emergence of nectar, Amrita, expressions and reflections, opposite values of creation. We speak of the role of the middle point in consideration of seed 41. The middle separates the values, expression and reflection. Kailash stands in this middle point. Kailash is located at the center of creation. Stirring Kailash comes about through the opposing forces on either side of the middle, the forces upholding all values in existence. It may be said that these opposite values express the values of positivity and negativity. Both sides rise during this procession of the days, 81 days leading to 108. The forces rise in their expression. Positivity rises, negativity rises. Both seek the supreme nectar. Both sides desire this precious substance, Amrita. It is during these precious days, the days of the week of global unison, that all rise to engage in the ceremony of the stirring of Kailash. Yes, very good. Thank you very much for taking this journey with us of beginning on the Lunar New Year, starting with day 1, and each day along the path until we arrive at today, the day of 81. And this marks a very great accomplishment. It's a day of celebration for many reasons, one being the anniversary of the Eon of Eternal Light, but most importantly this year is the day of 81 and the day of the completion of the cultivation of the channels of essence within the spheres who have been residing within the Great Central Translator over these 81 days. And now we will move forward and enliven each day leading up to the day of 108 and to the week of global unison, which will be celebrated around the world by everyone participating with our global time of enlivening the sacred sounds. And it will also be participated at Kailash by the journey, first of all, the bathing of the spheres, of the Kailash spheres in the lake, and then by the journey around Kailash, which ends on the day of 108. So 108 days after the Lunar New Year. And that day is May 19th. And so on May 19th, the ceremony at Kailash comes to a completion, and the week of global unison, and we will share with you all of the wonderful stories and messages. And we will also be celebrating this event at the other end of the pillar. Today we hear Lantos talking about it as a great pillar of light that is a connection between Mount Kailash and the brand new lands at the ocean here. And so we will be celebrating at Amrita Bay and the Center for Unison. And we will share all of this as it unfolds with you. So thank you all very much. We look forward to every step along this path. And it's very great that we enliven these values together, not only for ourselves, but also we are enlivening them for all of creation. Thank you.